Thinking, fast and slow.
Fast and slow teacher. I've always been confused. Why do we want to be rational people, but often make decisions that we regret?
This problem is very common. Basically, you have two decision makers in your brain. We can call them little fast and little slow.
Oh, the names Xiao Kuai and Xiao San are quite vivid. How do they work?
Quick and responsive, mainly relying on intuition.
Intuition? For example, I swipe short video and like it immediately when I see a fun one. This is Xiao Kuai helping.
Exactly. Small pieces are like experienced autonomous drivers handling familiar tasks without effort.
Like recognizing a friend's face in a second or subconsciously applying the brakes while driving. What makes it so efficient?
Right? High efficiency and energy saving. But the drawback is that sometimes you take it for granted and don't like to study it carefully.
I see. It's like my first instinct when I see a discounted product is to buy it. I rarely think about whether I really need it. Behind this is Xiao Kuai working hard. What about Xiao San? He sounds more stable.
Slow is your slow thinking helper. He's like a human pilot who needs concentration or a careful detective.
Detective? What's he good at then?
He does the logic analysis, the complex calculations, the planning that matters. For example, solving math problems or comparing to mobile phones, which is more cost effective. It all depends on the little slow. Xiao Kuai relies on his feelings. Xiao Kuai speaks reason.
Then who will listen to whom when I usually make decisions? I always feel that in critical moments, I still have the upper hand.
This may be an illusion. You may have overestimated Xiao Zan's appearance rate.
Oh, what do you mean?
Studies have found that more than 90% of our daily behaviors and decisions, it's all led by Xiao Kuai unknowingly.
Wow, 90% or more. That just flipped my perception.
Although slow is more reliable, it consumes a lot of energy to start it. The brain is naturally energy efficient, so it often allows Xiao Kuai to go first.
That is, I'm on autopilot most of the time. No wonder I sometimes make mistakes in a daze.
You understand it very well. So, understanding the characteristics of these two assistants, it is absolutely critical to one's ability to make better informed decisions.
That makes sense. How do Xiao Kuai and Xiao Man usually cooperate?
They collaborate a lot, like you're talking to a friend. Xiao Kuai allows you to express yourself fluently.
What is Xiao San doing at this moment?
Slow will be like a supervisor, monitoring by the side. Is the content of the conversation appropriate, and is there any digression?
Oh, one main attack and one auxiliary. Did they have any conflicts that made us particularly torn?
Of course there are, and it's common. For example, Xiao San reminds you that healthy eating is important, and going to bed early is good for your health. But Xiao Kuai is calling for fried chicken and beer late at night, and wants to watch another short video.
Haha, I have a deep understanding of this.
Exactly. So complex things that require thinking quickly tend to be handed over to intuition.
Let the feeling have the final say, right?
Very accurate. Deep thinking is an energy-intensive activity for the brain. Xiao Kuai always tries to solve problems in a simple and quick way. This is his instinct to improve efficiency.
Got it. Then we little fast who loves to take shortcuts. When dealing with money issues, can we be unaware of it? Fall into some thinking traps?
Yes, and there are many traps, such as the famous loss aversion.
What does loss aversion mean?
Simply put, for Xiao Kuai, the pain of losing 100 yuan is much greater than the pleasure of getting 100 yuan.
I can feel this. Losing money will be uncomfortable for a while, but I accidentally picked up the same money, and it may pass if I am happy. Does the pain really feel more intense?
Yes, some studies say it may be more than 2 times, because Xiao Kuai is more vigilant about potential losses.
So it's kind of a protective mechanism written into our genes.
It can be said that this mechanism helped our ancestors avoid danger in ancient times. But in modern financial decision-making, it can sometimes be too conservative.
I see. Are there any other common money traps besides loss aversion?
And of course, the anchoring effect.
Anchoring effect? Sounds like the anchor that passed the anchor.
Very visual, which means that our brain makes decisions when the first piece of information that is easily accessible is the anchor. Frame the train of thought and affect subsequent judgments.
How to understand this? Can you give an example of shopping? I feel that shopping is the most difficult.
Of course, such as a product. The merchant first bids a very high suggested retail price, which we call sky-high gross price.
The price is sky high, and then what?
And then give you a surprise discount price. At this time, it is easy to feel that the discounted price is very attractive as soon as Xiao Kuai compares it. Even that suggested retail price may itself be inflated.
Ah, I see. Xiao Kuai is easily attracted by this strong digital contrast, and then places an order impulsively. Just like some restaurants, the menu will deliberately put 1 or 2 overpriced dishes to anchor the customer's mental price. In this way, the ordinary priced dishes next to it look particularly close to the people.
That's good. This is a clever use of the anchoring effect.
It's so interesting. I feel that there is learning everywhere in daily life. Teacher, besides anchoring, are there any other similar effects that can make me suddenly understand brain decision making?
There is, of course, the framing effect.
So the framing effect is the framing of speech?
You can understand it this way. Refers to the same thing. Simply because of a different description or presentation framework, we will make different decisions.
I seem to have some impression of this. Is it like when doctors say that surgeries have a 90% success rate and 10% failure rate?
Exactly. Although the objective information conveyed is consistent.
But the feeling is completely different, right?
Indeed, the former is reassuring and the latter is anxious.
Quickly is easily influenced by this different narrative.
That's right. Small pieces are very sensitive to the subtleties of this expression.
Gosh, so our brains are more susceptible to suggestion and influence than we think. There's another question that has bothered me for a long time. Why something like playing a game that's no longer fun? Or watch a recognized and finished drama, knowing that you should stop your losses in time, but we can't make up our minds to give up.
This is probably the sunk cost fallacy at work.
The sunk cost fallacy? That sounds complicated.
Sunk costs refer to those costs that have been invested and cannot be recovered, such as time, money, and emotion.
Oh, because he'll think I've given so much and it's a shame to give up now.
Yes, even if you keep investing, it will only lead to more losses. Zhao Kuai is also difficult to give up because he is not reconciled.
That's it. I finally understand. What has been spent is like water thrown out. Should not affect our current rational judgment. After listening to your analysis, I'm thinking, in this age of information explosion, we swipe our mobile phones every day and receive massive amounts of information. Is it easier for Zhao Kuai to lead us astray?
Exactly. There's a common bias called confirmation bias.
Confirmation bias, what is it?
The short answer is that we automatically seek attention. We can even interpret only information that supports our beliefs, and ignore the voices that don't agree with us.
Right, I'm so touched by this. I feel that the app seems to know what I want to see when I swipe information. Keep pushing me similar content. The more I read it, the more I feel that my idea is right.
You're on to the point. A lot of personalized recommendation algorithms, to some extent, use confirmation bias.
So what happens in the long run?
In the long run, one can be trapped in information cocoons and unable to hear different voices.
Information cocoons? This metaphor is so accurate. It's like being in a cocoon,
Only seeing the world they want to see.
faced with various rumors of internal information online. How can we tell if it's true or false?
At this time, we should be vigilant of another helper, availability heuristic.
Availability heuristic? It sounds like information is easy to get.
Yeah, Kuai tends to think of things that are easier to pull out of memory, or the information that has been frequently exposed recently is more important, more general, and more true.
Oh, it's like a certain news story if it's reported over and over again. Even if the probability of it happening is small, I would still find it common and dangerous. Or if you watch too many advertisements for a certain product, you think it must be very useful.
Yes, remember, the availability of information does not equal its authenticity or significance.
Got it. Then we usually judge a person by their first impression, such as whether this person looks honest or not. Is this also Zhao Kuai making a quick judgment?
This is closer, representation inspired.
Representational heuristics? Do you mean to judge with typical representatives?
Kuai likes to categorize things, use existing typical stereotypes to match new people or things to make quick judgments. And that's very effective in many cases, but it's also very biased.
Ignore individual differences, right?
You're right.
So many eye-catching headlines or some one-sided opinions. And the reason why they spread so fast is probably because they cleverly used these cognitive shortcuts of Zhao Kuai.
That's right. Understand these biases can make people more cautious when exposed to information.
Teacher, I have heard so much from you. I feel like I have a whole new understanding of how the brain works. But to be honest, he was also a little nervous. He felt that Zhao Kuai had quite a few loopholes. What can a person do to avoid being misled by him as much as possible?
This is a good question. The most crucial step is to have this
Cognition? That sounds profound.
Simply put, being aware that you may have these thinking biases. This is the beginning of change.
Well, awareness is the first step, so how do you do it? Can more rational Zhao Man come to power?
We need to deliberately activate Shaosan. It's not as simple as turning on the lights. It takes some method and practice.
Activate Zhao San. Is there any good method worth learning from? For example, how should I remind myself when something happens?
One of the easiest and most effective ways to do this is to slow down.
Slow down?
Yes, give yourself some time before making important decisions. Ask yourself, wait a minute, is this possible? Is my first reaction reliable? Is the relevant evidence sufficient?
Slow down and ask yourself. This method is very practical for those who always want to prove themselves right. Is there an antidote to confirmation bias?
You can try reverse thinking.
How to think backwards.
Proactively seek out evidence and information that contradicts your own views. Then ask yourself, what would happen if my initial judgment was wrong? Actively seek out opposing viewpoints.
It does take courage, but it sounds more objective.
Yes, stepping out of your comfort zone leads to cognitive growth.
What about availability heuristics, which are susceptible to being influenced by recent information?
Develop the habit of using facts and data to speak.
What exactly?
When judging the probability or importance of an event, try to look for objective statistics. Instead of relying solely on impressions and feelings, it's important to balance your intuition with facts and figures.
How can we break down the barriers of information cocoons? You can't ignore the information on your mobile phone, right?
Of course not. The key is to maintain diversity of sources of information.
How can we maintain diversity?
You can consciously pay attention to bloggers or media with different perspectives in different fields. Take the initiative to reach out to points of view that you are not familiar with or agree with. Give your brain some new stimulation.
Well, just like eating a balanced diet, getting information should also avoid partial eclipses. These methods are so inspiring. Teacher, I really benefited from a conversation with you today. I used to feel that I had thought about making decisions, but now I understand. Many times, Zhao Kuai is doing it for me with one click. This realization is so great.
It's the ability to recognize these two ways of working in the brain with clarity and to consciously reflect on it is itself a very important progress.
That's right. It feels like I got a brain instruction manual.
Understanding these cognitive biases is like knowing the hidden levels in a game.
Weaknesses with the boss. You will be more calm and sober when making choices in the future.
That's right. Knowing yourself is the first and most important step towards better decision making.
Teacher, thank you very much for your wonderful interpretation today. I have a new understanding of the book Thinking, Fast and Slow, and our own brains have a whole new understanding.
I believe this wisdom will be very enlightening to everyone. The ability to provoke thinking is the greatest value of knowledge.